Hello, today we're going to proceed with Barron's Essential Words for IELTS Unit 4 Text 2. On the left hand side we have a text, on the right hand side we have questions related to this text. Text calls hula dancing in Hawaiian culture. Let's read the task. Answer the question about hula dancing in Hawaiian culture. Questions 1 to 4. Choose the correct letter A, B, C or D. Let's read the first question. Originally hula was danced. A. So let's highlight keywords. It's hula dancing and another keyword is originally. So let's read the first option. A. By dancers wearing floral garlands. Let's highlight keywords floral garlands. B. For the benefit of kings. The keyword is kings. C. In competitions. Keyword is competitions. D. Near an altar. Let's highlight the keyword altar. Let's scan text as quickly as we can. I recommend to focus on the options A, B, C or D. If we see here any connection, any synonyms related to these words, we can just pay attention on that sentence and read very carefully and try to find answer to our question about hula dancing. Let's scan it. On the first paragraph we don't see any of these keywords, and we go further to the second paragraph. Here we just have a lot of information, but it's not saying anything about the hula dancing. So here we have a sentence which says it was most likely originally performed in front of an altar in honor of gods and accomplished by great ritual. So here the keyword is originally. We found here our keyword, and it says that originally hula dancing was performed in front of an altar, because it became a ritual. So let's highlight this word, and it's gonna be answer to our question. So our answer is gonna be D. Let's highlight it and let's go further. Second question, hula dancing was discouraged. So the keyword is discouraged. Let's read options. A. In certain ancient rituals. So ancient rituals. B. After contact with Europeans. C. In the 1916s. Let's highlight the year. D. During traditional celebrations. So it's traditional celebrations. Since we have an answer here and we highlighted it here, usually in IELTS we answer to the following question is going to be below to the previous question, to the answer to the previous question. So let's scan and let's try to find any of these keywords. Let's go further, and we found first of all our keyword from the question 2. So it says it was discouraged. Let's highlight the word discouraged, and so it says it was discouraged, but when? And did not completely disappear. After contact it was discouraged. And here it says about contact, but contact with who or with what? And here in the previous question we have an answer, because it says, so the English explorer Captain James Cook visit to the islands in the 18th century caused many changes to Hawaiian society as a result of the contact with European culture. Contact with European culture. So this is going to be an answer to our question. So hula dancing was discouraged after contact with Europeans. So let's go further. Let's read third question. Hula was revived in the 19th century. So keyword is 19th century and about the revived. And keywords a Hawaiian king. So let's highlight English explorer, Hawaiian king, the first Hawaiians in Europe. So let's highlight keyword Europe. The tourist industry. So let's go further. So we have an answer here. Let's go down. So here we can see our keyword in the following sentence, and it says in the late 19th century. We have our keyword here because in the question it was about 19th century. Let's read the sentence. King David Kalakaua is credited with reviving. Here we have a reviving of hula dancing during his reign in the late 19th century. So the king is David Kalakaua. It's for sure a king. So let's highlight. Our answer is gonna be A. Let's go further. Modern hula dances are accomplished by. So it's about modern hula. You have to be very careful with that. And our options: A, drums; B, guitars; C, chants; and D, violins. Let's highlight all of them. Because this is gonna be our keywords, and we have to pay more attention on modern hula dancing and about the musical instruments. Here we have an answer. Let's scan further and let's try to find any information about modern hula. We have to focus on the question in order to find answer. But why I highlight all of these options? Because sometimes it could be some more synonyms could be used in the keywords in the question, and at that time we can focus on answers, and it's going to be easier to find that words in the text instead of finding only one word, because we can miss it. We can miss our answer to the question. Let's scan further, and here on the following paragraph. So we don't have that much information about modern hula dancing. Here they were saying about ancient and the modern style in the following paragraph. So let's pay attention on it, because that can be our answer. So here it was traditional hula dancing, which is basically about the beginning of this dancing, and it was accomplished by the drums, but it's a traditional one. But what about nowadays? What about modern hula dancing? Let's scan further, and here is our keyword from the question 4. Modern hula. Let's read this sentence very carefully. Many of the movements of modern hula are based on the ancient hula, but the modern style is slower and more graceful. So it is danced to flowing guitar and ukulele music, and the dancers wear elaborate costumes, including the famous Hawaiian floral gowns known as lace. So they were saying that it's accomplished by guitar. So our answer to the question 4 is going to be B, guitars. So let's read the task. Questions 5 to 7. Complete a summary using words from the list below. Hula dancing has been part of Hawaiian culture since ancient times. Although the style of dancing have changed over time, the traditional style of hula dancing, which is still performed, is fast, whereas modern hula is more something and flowing. Here below of the text we have options, and we have put this word, missing words here. So let's highlight keywords. About the traditional style of hula dancing, where a modern hula is more. Here it's like about modern hula, and it says that it was more something and flowing. Okay, right now, to be honest, you know the whole text. almost whole text. We have only one paragraph left, which we didn't scan. But you know where exactly it was saying about modern hula dancing, right? You don't have that information at the beginning, at the first paragraphs. You have this information here. You already highlighted these keywords. Let's try to find any information about, because from this sentence it was saying about modern hula dancing. It was not mentioned before, and basically you know where exactly you can find the answer to your question. Let's read this question. Many of the sentence. Many of movements of modern hula are based on the ancient hula, but the modern style is slower and more graceful. So here we have our answer, because it says that modern style is slower and more graceful. Flowing means slower. They use synonym, and it was answer to fifth question is gonna be graceful. It's more graceful and flowing. Let's go further. Dancers of modern hula wear costumes that are something, and the dancers of ancient hula wear simpler traditional costumes. So about the modern hula, and they were wearing some kind of costumes, and okay, they were wearing also traditional costumes. Let's read about further, because here we have all information about hula dance, modern hula dancing. It danced to flowing guitar. Okay, they were saying about costumes. So it says, let's read this sentence. It is danced to flowing guitar and unarticulated music, and the dancers wear elaborate costumes, including the famous Hawaiian floral garlands known as lace. So it says they were wearing elaborate costumes. So answer to fifth question is going to be elaborate. So, sixth question. Let's go further. People everywhere are interested in hula, including Hawaiians living in other parts of the world. The fact that hula is danced by Hawaiians living away from their homeland is of its importance in Hawaiian culture. Sometimes we have to pay attention, like if it's going to be verb or noun, and just to try to work on our logic and to try to find the word which is more suitable to this question, so to the sentence, missed word. So that living away from their homeland, about this, and there's the importance of it to the culture. Let's highlight the word importance. Let's go further. So we don't have any information about the people who was living away and who was interested in hula dancing. We didn't scan this last paragraph. Let's scan it. And here it was saying about people outside those islands. So which are people who lived away from Hawaii. So about other nationalities was learning Hawaiians. Here information about Hawaiians who was lived away from islands. And here about this information it has become a way for native Hawaiians to maintain their cultural identity even while living away from their island homeland. They were living away from their homeland, but they were aware of this hula dancing. So let's try to find answer to this, to find missing word as per logic. So it's we can't say energetic, we can't say rain, we can't say influence, because this is an evidence. It's going to be an evidence. Answer to seventh question is going to be evidence. So it's not that hard, but it's better to be very careful when you search answer to the question in the text. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.